Hi everyone, welcome one more time to Ultrax podcast. Welcome to Football Talks. My name is Marko Matushinsky, and today with us we have a strength conditioning and rehabilitation specialist, Viktor Novačić. First of all, he is also one of my great friends and colleagues that we worked together in a few occasions. But I would like to use this opportunity to give him few minutes to introduce himself. So, Victor, hi one more time and welcome to this talk.
Hi Marco, nice to be here with you.
So Victor, can you tell us a little bit more about your coaching background and maybe your journey into coaching so that people know with who am I talking today?
Yeah, so basically during my student days, when I was still a student, I started to volunteer in one football club in Zagreb. But it was academy. I started to work first with small children, like I think it was under 9 or something, and then for next 2 years gradually work my way up to higher categories. I mean, and yeah, after 2 years, that was the time when I was finishing college. I already got my first professional job in professional football, first division in Pula, Istra, and basically, I think now it's 8 years that I've been working. That I'm working in football, professional football, different clubs, different categories, and currently now I'm back in Pula.
Sounds like a big experience, and I like the part that you mentioned that you start with younger categories and you progress over the senior teams. Uh, I also have some like similar journey, but can you tell me how these steps when you were working with younger categories until the first team is have this helped you in your process of work? Like you have more insight, or what do you think?
Of course. It prepared me very good. I think it's perfect. Because first time when you come in the club, you don't you don't basically know, you don't know how to warm up and everything, how things works in when you work with a team with children is very easy, and then you got confidence, you got better and better, and also with the communication with the staff, with the person from the club. Yeah, you got. Hey, yeah, it's great experience to start with, I think, because it's not so stressful, it's not so professional,
Yeah,
but but basically it's very similar after when you come to work with first division, then you see the structure and of the of the week,
yeah,
the structure of the training. It's basically very similar, so it's not something new for you, and you are already used to speak in front of large audience and stuff like this. Yeah, so I think it's
yeah,
perfect to start with the children, then step by step, and yeah, that's it.
yeah. That's you make a great point. We as a strength conditioning coaches, we need to speak in a front of a large groups, and uh, sometimes it's not easy if you don't have any experience. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure that this process helped you in this way. And you mentioned something about communication, and this is
yeah.
our, let's say, first topic for today. So
Hmm.
about the communication and organization in coaching. So let's say, what do you think how these two aspects are important for strength conditioning coaches or for the teams? And do you have some kind of a strategy with the coaching staff or something that you like in communication and organization with your teams?
Look, in professional football, you need to be available 24/7. For me, and for example, now I have four WhatsApp groups on my phone, all connected to the club. With medical part, with team, with coaching stuff. So basically, you need to be prepared to be available all the time. you need to be focused and thinking all the time that everybody needs to be informed about everything. So when you come home from the job, you cannot just disconnect. You need to think. I'm thinking all the day. Maybe I miss something to say to somebody. You need to be focused basically all the time. And for me, it's very important that the staff have the meeting before training, after training, and that everything is clear regarding organization and just everybody to be informed, because I know from experience sometimes this can be a problem because there are a lot of things to think about and to organize, and it's everything is changing daily from day to day.
Yeah. So you basically have in your club and clubs you work, like meetings before training sessions and meetings after training sessions.
Not always, but I think this is the best way.
The best way, yeah.
Yeah. The best way, I think. But it of course it depends a lot of the first coach. How he wants to organize. But I think for me the best is to have a meeting before training, after training, what we do tomorrow. Just a quick recap. It doesn't have to be always
That's
like
it.
1 hour.
Yeah, like 15 minutes. You can talk in 15 minutes about what we done in the training
when
session
I'm
for
rehab
tomorrow.
coach, I always go, to ambulance. I don't know what is the word. Where the physio in the physio room.
Yeah, physio room.
Yeah, I come there, just speak with them. What we have today. Blah blah blah. How is this player? What do you think about this? Also after training, and this is the way I think. And as I said, as I mentioned, during the day, if something comes to my mind, immediately I send in the group, send to one physio or something. You need to be focused basically, 24/7.
Yeah, we all sometimes think that you have like one training session a day, so it's like, let's say 3 hours and that you are finished, but it's basically not like that. You need to be focused before training session. You need to prepare everything. Then you have this training session. Then after that, you have some things to organize, to analyze, to talk again. So basically you are inside all day.
Yeah, especially because the club is always working from the people outside with the doctors, with a lot of players are going, for example, on MRIs, on ultrasounds and everything. After training, you need to organize all this and inform everybody.
Yeah, that's it. So the communication and organization are pretty important aspects in your surrounding.
Yeah. To things work in a flow, it needs to be on top level.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's everything that I needed to know and to hear about the first topic, so about the communication, and we are coming to the second one, and it's about, like every program in football and in team sports goes to preseason testing and programming. So few aspects about your approach to preseason testings. Let's say when you do them, how often, what kind of tests do you use, and how do you use this data then in your in season or in your training sessions?
Basically to cover different areas. I don't know, maybe for aerobic capacity, I used the EFT test. Then some for mobility classic tests like I don't know, straight leg test, Thomas test. For each joint, different tests, dorsiflexion. If I had, but I never had this technology, I think it's very useful to use eccentric to measure eccentric strength in the beginning, or isometric strength. But currently I don't have this technology. But okay, I think it's really important and useful because then you have a benchmark, and then you see the progression. Of course, you see how are your program doing well, and but also with this test of mobility and aerobic capacity, this usually the coaches don't want to test again during the season, but okay, it's helpful at least to see how players came in the preseason. and you can use it to program the interval trainings. Yeah.
And as you mentioned that you are most of the time you work as a strength conditioning coach, but
Yeah.
now you have some experience working in rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Is it different when you are choosing testing procedures when you are with the team and when you are rehabilitating players? Is it your battery wider or is it different?
Of course, when you work with somebody individually, you have more time. You can basically I can do whatever I want because now, for example, I have this gym that is close to the pitch, and I have 2-3 hours. So, and let's say I am my own boss, so I don't need to ask coach what for the test and everything. So, yeah, I'm in communication with the physios. They are do the mobility test, and yeah, basically I'm seeing the progression daily with working individually. Yeah.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
you can you have all the time for yourself, so you can
Yeah.
mix everything what you have in
Yeah,
mind.
but now currently, as I said, I don't have so large, no high-tech equipment like forced frames or Nordboard or stuff like this. I would like to have it, but yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully in
yeah.
some next club,
These are all great equipment. I use them in few occasions. I know that you also are familiar with them. So yeah, they are pretty amazing. This wall technology. Uh, it can give you a pretty quick feedback about the reactions on, I don't know, training session. Maybe you can check some readiness. You can even train on them. So yeah, they're amazing. And after, let's say, after the assessment and testing, so how do you use this data? Let's say, which metrics are important for you to your daily work? I don't know. Let's say you use like reactive strength index, or do you use some kind of a maximal aerobic speed to program your intervals or something like that?
Yeah, probably I use sometimes timing gates, so I have some benchmark here. I can see the drop maybe in force production here, counter movement jump, basic things like this, and just to see uh, because if player was out for 1.5 months, I need to see if there is some drop in power and yeah, stuff like this. Also I can do EFT again and see how is his aerobic capacity, or
Is
maybe some
changing? Yeah.
yeah some test on the treadmill or stuff like this. If there is of course a lot of time there is changes, but I want to and also what I use, I try to replicate at least the loads of the training, and then I use basically RPE and ask the player how you feel this training. And if I see,
Okay.
and if I
Yeah.
know, for example, that this training should be for the team 6, and the player that coming from the rehab for him is 8 or 9, that's immediately sign for me that he is not so conditionally ready. And then I
Yeah.
can inform the coaches that okay, he will need some time to adapt on team trainings.
Yeah, that's a great point where you don't have like high tech solutions, that you have some other materials or things that you can use like RPE. And
Yeah.
yeah, this is our next topic. Well, we had one more before, but I would like to continue with the monitoring, as
Hmm.
you mentioned already the RPE. So you gave us now one example how you use RPE, and do you use anything else when it comes to monitoring how your, let's say, how your monitoring cycle looks like?
Basically, yeah. Now, for example, now in the club RPE, wellness testing in the morning, and GPS. Yeah, but I think if training is well structured and well planned, then the monitoring goes easy. The problem is when I had also these experiences when when the staff is not confident in their program, and when they are changing a lot, changing the volume, changing the drills. In this chaotic environment, then it's really hard to monitor, But when the training is really good structure, good, I don't know, good
when you don't
planning
change too much.
all the time, you already know what is going on, what this training will produce, what this exercise will produce. And if periodization is good structured, then monitoring is not a problem, if you understand.
Yeah, that's it. So you don't, like you mentioned, you don't want to see big changes during season. You don't see the big jumps in volume or intensity. If you keep your like constant type of microcycle, then you are, let's say, you are safe.
Yeah. And then from then you can make incremental little steps in progressive overload. Yeah. For me, this is the perfect way. But the coaches sometimes are led by emotions, and when they start to, I don't know, with bad results, sometimes the coach thinks we need to change everything, and that can be a problem. But then it's hard. It's hard to monitor. But then this kind of things like RPE can be really helpful, because then you have a clear argument for the coach. Look, we are going too fast, too high. Maybe you need to stop because they are breaking.
We are going too fast. Yeah. And you heard also sometimes that people can, when I speak to coaches about RPE, that they like to say, yeah, I don't believe to this method too much because it's subjective from the players. And
No.
sometimes I'm trying to convince them that, but yeah, this is the point. It needs to come from the players, and we need to teach them to give the good grade. So, what are your experience, with the RP? Like, is it a good method for you? Well, you already said that it is, but do you have
But
anything else to say about it?
Yeah. I think what is important here, first of all, maybe the most important thing is to build a relationship with players. To build a relationship of, let's say, mutual trust and honesty, And I'm always trying to build this. I'm trying to be a friend with players, but at the same time authority, to spend time with them, to get to know them better, especially before and after training, when in the gym, when the atmosphere is more relaxed, like not like in the pitch, so you have more time to personally talk with the players, and then they know that you're open to talk, and then it's not a problem, because then I know that they are honest, When I ask 5 players, how do you feel this morning? And if I know that I have good relationship with them, for me it's enough. I don't need maybe then fitness question, wellness questionnaire of all players, or after training just ask them. And if I have good relationship with them, maybe in the beginning it's good to have like this general questionnaires for everybody. But later, when you are 2 years in one club, and when you know the players, and when
you already know the reactions and how they will respond.
For me, then RP is great. Yeah, it's great, because I know they are not lying.
Yeah, that's it. So,
but this human connection is I think the most important.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's about the connection, it's about relationship, it's about also respect. If they notice that you know what you are doing and they believe you, so
I mean, I like this quote from Luka Milanovic when he said, eyes, ears, and numbers, because first human area is most important, and numbers comes after.
Yeah, the numbers are just here to explain the first two segments, so
but I don't care if
something.
I want to be subjective, I want to know how they feel.
But it's definitely a great tool, So it's sometimes people don't want to start with it because it took time. Sometimes you need to collect this, you need to collect this before session, maybe after session, but after
But
some.
yeah, but there are also tools like you can make a real easy Google document sent to WhatsApp group or I don't know.
That's it.
Yeah, there are ways. There are ways when you want to find them.
That's it. That's it. You are totally right. And all right, so we covered this topic about monitoring. Now, I would like to hear more about, let's say, programming and strength
Hmm.
sessions. I think that strength in football sometimes, especially in Croatia, well, before, maybe not today so much, was like a taboo topic. So we don't want to do strength because we will get slower, injured, and this kind of things. But I think now the trend is changing, and that a lot of players are doing strength. So how do you organize this type of training? In your microcycle, and how is it structured? And do you do this kind of work with your teams?
Yeah, now in last 2 years, since I'm rehab coach, I'm not doing this, but I can share experience from before. I don't know, or my opinion about how it should look like. Basically, all of the clubs have, I think, now at least one training of strength during the week. We have also one, and it all depends of the strength coaches. Some don't like to use high loads, high weights and stuff. Some of them are just using something explosive but lightweight. Some of them just using bands. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me. I'm not running away from the let's say higher intensity from the load. Yeah, for me, if you are an athlete, you should. It's normal to lift. Let's say in a trap bar squat at least 100 kilos.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
you put some emphasis on this kind of work.
yeah. This kind of work also, but eccentric work is also very important. Maybe some complex after. You can combine everything during the season. You have time.
Yeah, and you make a great point here. So you mentioned complex, typical concentric action. You mentioned
Yeah.
eccentric type. So yeah,
You can mix
sometimes
things up. You can mix
you
things.
can mix things up. That's it. And sometimes people forget that there is more ways than just some, I
Yeah.
don't know, some classical form. So we can mix everything. And
But yeah,
if you
but
need,
let's say
yeah,
I don't like to do strength session if there is no adaptation. If I'm just fatiguing them. If they are doing too light weights and just repetitions, and if for me there is no point doing like this. Let's say circuit trainings with small loads. You're just
yeah,
what are you doing? Just fatiguing them. Better don't do nothing. Than stuff
yeah,
like this. I
yeah,
would rather them give them like 3 exercises, put the load a little bit up, so I know they have at least some stress, and it's
that's
much
it.
better than yeah. But we are seeing a lot of things in the industry right now.
Yeah, yeah. I think that sometimes going back to basics like
Yeah.
biomechanics, anatomy, physiology, this is something that can give you an insight, okay, how hard you should go. And yeah, sometimes we stick to this classical circuit traditional form because it's easy to organize and easy to do. But
Yeah.
does it make any kind of adaptation? Maybe at the beginning, but later, who knows? And how often do you do this kind of work in, let's say, in season or preseason? Like team strength,
Hmm.
and do you work like individually also with some players who have maybe not just one time a week, maybe they have even more.
But yeah, usually there is only one training session per week. But now I'm seeing the trend that a lot of players have their own individual coaches. and I see that it's more and more popular to work before training, and I just control this, and me and my colleagues, of course, in the club, just control this. We don't run away from. Okay, you can work with your coach. We are just controlling it, and if it's micro dosing every day, something a little, for me, it's not problem. For me, it's great, But let's say general strength session with all the players, it's one time per week. Also, I like to continue now when I'm rehab coach. When somebody is back to the pitch, back to the training, I like to continue to work with him at least some period. After training, for example, 2 sets of 6 Nordics, great.
Yeah. So after the team ones, you also try to focus on individual needs.
Yeah.
And and when it comes to, I would like maybe to connect these two topics.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the last topic that we have today is game day priming
Mm-hmm.
and game day organization. But let's try to combine this strength session with game day and priming strategy. So, do you use some kind of a strategy on a game day, like complex training, strength training, activation sets, or to use any walks or something like that?
To be honest, with last physical coach that was here in Pula, we used complex training match day -1. Some type of contrast, some complex. With
Yeah, can you tell
bar,
us?
yeah, with
Yeah,
crab bar, with jump, with
good.
with medicine balls, some throws, stuff like this. If it helped or not, I don't know. We used, players loved it, and yeah. That's also important that players didn't complain about it. And
So the players reacted good.
yeah. Even the coach was okay. If you want to do this, you have free hands to do. And now we don't use it anymore because different coach, different styles. But we use every on the game day we use some kind of activation in the morning. 20 minutes, even 30 minutes, some rondo and even some sprints with reactions at the end of this. I'm talking about the game day.
Okay. Yeah, on the game day. So you do
Game.
some rondos also and sprints on that day?
Yeah. Some maybe 3-4 sprints with reaction. That's enough, And players also love this. I was a little bit surprised, but yeah, they don't complain. Then we have lunch, then some rest, and then game. On the game, of course, they have also their individual routines, which I don't want and I don't want to break. If you think on the game this is important for you, obviously I see that is not doing some stupid stuff, but they are all professionals, and today everything is good about that. And they are doing their personal routines, and yeah, that's okay for me.
Yeah, so in the morning you have some type of activation.
Yeah.
And before the game you have like individual warm-ups and team classic warm-ups.
Always. Sometimes this activation, if we are away and the game is little bit earlier in the day, maybe we will just do some mobility 10-15 minutes. But if we have time, it can also be rondo with sprints,
Yeah,
5 minute mobility, 10 minutes rondo, couple of sprints. I think it's perfect in the morning,
So it's like 25 to 30 minutes.
Max, even 20 minutes, let's say max.
Yeah, I have one experience with one coach. He came from Spain here to Croatia, and he worked on some set pieces on a game day. And
yeah. I also have this experience with current coach.
For me, it was pretty positive because well, in that moment, we won basically all of the games. If this is the measure of success, the result, but the players were actually pretty good. And if you think about it, it is a short sprint, short fast jump, short change of direction. You know,
I agree. But it's good because then they are focused because it's game day. They are already primed because when you wake up, you know, it's the game day from the waking up, you know, and you have the focus. And I remember last season we even scored the same goal from the action that we trained this morning, you know, and it was so.
That's it. You can connect this with the focus. You know, you are preparing your head yourself for the situation that you will be having in a game on that morning. Well, I think that now we thought that we covered all of the topics for today, and just to wrap things up, your advice to young coaches who would like to specialize in strength conditioning, and after that maybe you can tell us, do you have any upcoming projects now in the future, or what are your plans? And if someone wants to connect with you, where they can reach to you, you know, is it LinkedIn, is it your mail or something?
So first advice for the coaches. Look, if you really love this job, like in every area, if you want to be successful, just work hard and don't give up, because you never know, opportunity can be right behind the corner, you know. Just don't give up, because in this work it will always, for everybody, will be a lot ups and downs. You just don't give up, believe. If you really like, if you really feel that this is for you. If you don't feel it, don't do it, you know, because it's too hard if you don't really love this. It's not, but maybe practical advice, try things on yourself, different kinds of trainings, everything.
That's it.
And I think it's also maybe practical, would be good for the coaches who are in team setting, if they can, to work individually with players, because it's a little bit different, and it can be helpful for the team setting. This is advice from me. But on the projects, now my project is he's 2 years old, and now I'm waiting for one more. So currently just working in Pula, and that's it. Waiting for new baby.
family project. That's the most important. That's the most important project.
But
in your life.
Of course, I'm educating myself, reading as much as I can, working out a lot on me, and of course, in the future I would like to continue maybe some better clubs, somewhere abroad. This is the plan for the future if everything goes well. And if somebody wants to contact me, so I only use social media, Instagram, Facebook. That's it.
All right, great, Viktor. Thank you for your time and for this great episode. I really enjoyed these talks, you know, especially with great people, and talks about strength conditioning in football. I wish you all the best in your future family and professional projects, and I hope that we see each other pretty soon.
Me too, Marco. Thanks for inviting me on this podcast. Hello to your listeners, and for me also, I'm hoping to see you very soon.
That's it.